G'day guys, I'm out on this trip solo. I've got the quad bike, my 308 with a thermal gear, 6.5 PRC for any long range stuff. Let's see how we go. The main target species is foxes and pigs. There are a few wild dogs about here which we'll keep an eye out for. There's quite a few deer, there's a lot of goats. I might even put one of those on the deck and do a little bit of a drag around to put in front of a trail camera. As a matter of fact, I can hear goats up there now. I managed to wiggle my way up onto this top track that they've just cut in. It's awesome up in here, fantastic view. No, you're not going to see that. Lots to explore up in here. I'm just going to have a bit of a poke around. It's starting to warm up a bit now, so we'll have a little bit of a muck around for a bit longer, head back, have some lunch, and then we'll go out this afternoon. I've absolutely wrecked the day of these goats. I've come over this little rise, 240 metres up the slope. There's a couple of small goats. Headshots, 6.5 PRC, 147 grain ELDM. Absolute mess. I think it actually tore the head completely off one of them. All I could see was its neck as it rolled down the hill. Anyway, they're in a really good spot to come back and have a look tonight. That's why I did shoot them. They're very handy wild dog bait. Downside to all this rain we've had, a heap of his new tracks are already blown out. I'll be able to sneak the quad through just there and continue, but hopefully we don't find any that are worse. There's goats everywhere up in this basin. Now, something you probably don't know is that I'm actually the Australasian goat bleeding champion of the world. You got to have a little bit of fun when you're out and about. Now they're going to answer me. Maybe I am all right at it. Look at the erosion caused by these local floods. This little creek line is gouged out, probably 10 feet. Definitely wasn't this bad last time. There's actually a track down through it that I'm trying to find. Just chewing a little bit of time, doing some tune work on my FX. I think we're there on the 23 grain slug tune. I'm going to leave well enough alone. That's those 23 grain slugs at 925 feet per second. On a complete new tune. I've balanced all the regulators and all that sort of stuff. I've been watching a fair bit of YouTube on this business, so yeah, really happy with that. That's 50 metres. If I miss a rabbit, it's definitely my fault. I've rode up into an awesome spot up in here. It's really pretty. The problem is, I think I'm going to have to go back the way I came. All the roads are washed out. As you can see down in here, this creek's all eroded, all the crossings are gone, so I have to backtrack. The sun's just popped down over the horizon now. As you can see behind me, I've got a heap of green feed. I've got a big fence line over here that's got a heap of pop holes through it from deer and pigs, probably kangaroos as well. So plan is I'm just going to sit up here until it gets dark, see what comes out. I take great pleasure in shooting this fox. Have a look at the clip of what he was doing before I fired. Look at this fox chasing a bloody kangaroo. How cool is that? Well, this guy's going to cop it. That's right, this fox was chasing a baby kangaroo through the grass. Fortunately, he came my way. Lucky for the little roo, a couple little squeaks on the whistle, pulled him up. He sort of circled around underneath where I'm positioned, and I got a good headshot on him. Still got these cattle all around me. This goes to show what happens when you sit and wait. Look at this guy. Might be getting some venison, I think, if I can get a clear shot. I'm about ½ inch off centre, but I don't think he knew any different. First one down for the night with a subsonic out of the 308. Little fallow deer walked into about 50 metres. I've got a mate at work that's keen for some venison. He wants to make some salami, so he's in luck. That's a pass in my books. Still really sharp, and I really like the blade shape. I thought this looked like a good spot. Pigs, 300 metres away. Let's go and get on the hillside above them. Cut off their return route. The wind's good. See how close we can get to them. As long as I don't mix in with those cattle, I should be right. 200 metres. Keep going. Look at these guys mumming away. 40 metres. Cattle up there. I'm going to try and get myself about there where that rangefinder dot is. So the cattle aren't behind where these pigs might run when I start shooting. They should run back up the hillside where they came from. That's where all their cover is. There's a whole lot of nothing out there. They're in big trouble if they run that way. It's a pretty solid start. That plan worked really well. There's our fence line. The pigs were out in the paddock about 5 metres. That's my rifle just there. Those little reflector lights you can see. 8 metres away. And the other two are over there. So I put a second into one to get it down a bit quicker. Missed one shot, then got the last one. So 4 pigs in the paddock, 4 pigs down. When things are a little bit fast and furious like that, something that you should get in the habit of, it's easy to forget, is to check that your gun is unloaded after you've shot animals like that. Now this should just be an empty in there. Yep, only an empty, but always check it. It's really easy to do that in the moment, get a little bit excited, walk off, and you've actually got a loaded firearm. This guy had some evasive manoeuvres. He did a couple of zigs and zags. I missed the first shot. Second one though, Texas heart shot, that put him down. Spotted another pig up here, about 300 metres away. Go for a walk in there. It's definitely a pig. Doesn't look like a bad one either. What's he? 72 metres away. Let's try and hit him with a subsonic. I'm not too far from the house, so try not to wake everyone up. We've gone to red mode. There's claret absolutely everywhere after that pig rolled around in the grass. Another pig just there. 100 metres. Another one there. There's a few over there. That's really frustrating. I've just got back from a little bit of a stalk on some pigs down in a ryegrass paddock, and the wind buggered me. So here I am at the bike, and I've got a wind that's perfect, right the direction I want. 200 metres over there. It must be just how the wind is rolling off the hillside behind where I am. No good, straight up the back of me. So first boar that I stalked in on got wind of me, took off. Then I got in on another 2 pigs, and those buggers played silly buggers with the cattle behind it. But we ended up getting the job done. That's what we're looking for. 189 metres. The wind's bloody terrible again. Bit of an angle to cut down there and come up behind them. Got these 2 pigs here. 108 metres away. The bloody cattle are feeding across in here. This is very much testing my patience with these cattle. I thought they were moving clear. They started coming up. I only need them to go just there. Everything seems to be feeding towards one another. And I know they're going to run that way, so I don't particularly want to be in the wrong spot. You talk about an interesting scenario though. Here I am talking to the thermal, and I've got these thick buggers 55 metres away. Not a care in the world. Hey pig, I want you to move. They're not even listening to me. It's always nice to get back to the quad bike after some of these big walkouts in the paddock. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Just coming in on the main driveway, and this big bugger nearly gave me a slip. He didn't make it though. Got a reputation for shooting fence wires. Let's see how I go. Oi! I'm sure all this looks nice and simple on the videos when I put them together, but that fox there was really frustrating. He was on the other side of this log, and I could see him with the scanner. This is the view on my remote screen, but it's about a foot higher than the rail that I shoot off, and I just couldn't see him through the rifle scope. I had to wait about 3 or 4 minutes. It eventually came out and started to walk up through that grass there, and I just got a gap next to that butt of the stump. What a mess this is. That track's cut out about 6 feet in this little gully crossing. I was going this way, I'm not anymore. I've just spotted something very piggy next to the bike on the other side of a fence, so I've swung towards it, got the gun out, waited, the grass is pretty long, kept watching. Eventually this pig walks out. I had to make sure there's cattle in there as well. I think it's a really decent pig. Let's go and have a look at it. It's not very often that you'll see me hang a pig up. I shoot quite a few, but this guy, he's a bruiser. He's all bald up here. His ears are all ripped up and raggedy. He's had dogs on him or fighting. Absolute bruiser. Big fighting pads on him. He's an awesome mountain boar. I thought he's worth a better look. I've just walked in here on some pigs. They gave me the slip. There's the quad bike. It's at 150 metres away. 300 metres out there. They look like pigs as well. Either that or they're deer, but I'm pretty sure they're pigs. They are pigs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's that one doing? Having a scratch. Geez, those pigs scattered quick. That's one of the stragglers. Here's a good example. They're cattle. They're all sheep. You can see their hot little heads. Those three out the back there, they're pigs. 280 metres away. That was a great example of various animals in the thermal and how you can sometimes identify things, and an absolutely terrible execution. So I've got a wind straight up my arse. Those cattle ran straight down the ridge, and then the sheep ran up the ridge. So pigs went down over into the gully. No luck. Fallow deer out there in that crop. We'll call it 250 metres. Pretty easy to get ID on that guy. You can see his neck. The outline of his head when he does lift it delineates him from a sheep or something like that. The wind's really kicked off once it's got dark. It's probably blowing at 30 plus kilometres an hour, which is a little bit of a shame because it's annoying to be in. But there are also positives, and that is it masks my noise, and it also brings me other noises sometimes. I've just opened a gate on the quad bike and I thought, geez, that sounded like a pig squeal. I listened for a minute or two. Sure enough, a couple of big roars up on the ridgeline. So I've buzzed in a little bit closer to where I thought the sound came from. Up on this hill behind me, it's sheep camp. Fair enough, there's two pigs up in the thistles. Two little piggy piggies up here. About 130 metres away. I might sneak up to that fence line and get a little bit of elevation. Try and get a shot down at them. So I've got one pig up here on the skyline. 40 metres away, it's probably the better pig. I've got these two little guys here. 28 metres away. We've gone to red mode. Talk about the damage these pigs can take. They're not massive animals, as you can see. This one is being hit twice. There's one through the high ribs there. You'd think that'd bowl it over. There's a fist-sized hole on the opposite side. Nope. So I've hit it a second time. Just up the back of the ear. That put it down. And this one here, I've shot it through the eye. Bloody hell. I'll call that a wrap. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Ensure you subscribe to the channel with the bell icon on. I'd appreciate it if you'd have a look at my Patreon, and I'll see everyone next time.